Shalom, shalom, Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahawah, Ba'ashem YAHAWASHI, Ba'ashem Kwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone, shalom to the Akim, Wathim, who are diligently waiting to be delivered from this foul captivity, as well as a speckled bird that may look like the other nations, but are actually Yasharallah. This is Brother Kawakub coming at you with another lesson. Today's lesson, it's going to be on this thing I heard about with DJT's rally or something like that. But it was some Freedom 250 rally, and apparently what had happened was that it was initially supposed to be some equal opportunity, equal thing. Like, it wasn't supposed to be like a Trump rally or something like that, but he basically lied to a bunch of the artists that were gonna go and perform there, and told them that it was gonna, what's it called? It's gonna be, something that's neutral. It doesn't matter who cares what political arrangement you have. But instead, apparently, what he actually had planned was that he was going to do a 90-minute speech and make it all about him and stuff like that. And basically, a bunch of people canceled. We're gonna go and read a lot of this, but I just kind of wanted to bring up a couple something that I had noticed, which I think I did a video on this before, where DJT absolutely despises Obama, and on top of that, the MAGA people also despise Obama, and they have just such a great hatred for him, simply because people generally like Obama, and people generally applaud him, like, just for being in the room or just for being associated. Even when he's not the president, people still love Obama and stuff like that, which I think it's pretty funny, because that is like, I think that's one of the more beloved American presidents ever, because it's like I've never seen people just say, "Oh my God, Obama this and Obama that." Always has something good to say about him. All right, and DJT is jealous because he wants to be known like that. He wants to be known that way. He wants to think. It's like he is so proud, and you know what? I remember this precept, and I really wanted to use this because it is so befitting. It's extremely befitting in this case. Second Ezra, chapter 16, verse 49. Like as a whore envieth a right, honest, and virtuous woman. All right. So the same way that a whore, a prostitute, envies a woman, that a good woman, all right, that has a proper husband, is protected, so is treated well and stuff like that. In that same sense, or maybe not in that same sense, but in a similar sense, in a similar case where an evil woman that is known for, like, no one cares about her. Oh, she's just for recreational uses only. I think I heard some fucking red pillar say or something like that. Use only exploit. Oh, it was the No Fugazi podcast, and then ironically he said single mothers are for recreational use only, and then he goes and marries a single mom, like the hypocrite that he is. Anyway, yeah, you have these people that talk bad about women and call women whores and certain women whores, and they say, oh, a whore is for this, but a nice woman is for marrying and stuff like that. And then you see that divide where women are, these two different types of women are clearly being treated, when, oh, look at how nice that is. And then the parallel, or the parallel that I'm trying to point out is how with the DJT, he sees how everyone loves Obama, he sees how everyone says, oh, Obama's the greatest thing ever, Obama this, Obama that, oh, we can't get enough of Obama. Every time Obama's on the freaking screen, people always want to cheer, and every time Obama shows his head somewhere, everyone is happy to see him and whatnot. But you don't get that with DJT. DJT is constantly being criticized, constantly being hated. As a matter of fact, there was multiple, even with his first thing. I don't remember a lot of the stuff about, but I do remember this one thing where I think it was Steph Curry was invited to, or some NBA players were invited to some ball or whatever, or with DJT, and then they said, I'm not going to that bullshit, and then he got mad and said, oh, he's officially uninvited from this thing, blah, 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 something, blah, blah. And then the dudes, I think it was Steph Curry that said, I was never going to go there anyway. And I think they said, I think he said that he had made the announcement that he wasn't going to go first anyway. But that's the thing. I know how I'm describing this. It sounds pretty childish and weird. I will not lie. And I'm not the best at explaining things, but I would at the bare minimum hope that you can comprehend what I'm saying at the very least. All right, or comprehend enough. All right, because I do think that it is pretty funny that we've gotten to the point where just like all we're hearing, all we're listening to, all we're experiencing is just childishness, like absolute and utter childishness from this man that's supposed to be the leader, the leader, the top brass or whatever. Let me get this. Sirach chapter 4 verse 27, make not thyself an underling to a foolish man, neither accept the person of the mighty. And look at who the people have made their leader. Look at who the people have made their number one priority, their number one whatever. All right, this guy DJT is everyone's is the president of the United States. All right, he's supposed to be the pinnacle of fucking, I don't know what the term is. All right, but you get the point where he is the literal leader, and it's just ridiculous. And I think it's kind of funny. Okay, let me calm down. Let me not go in, because this video is not about ridiculing him. But anyway, as I was saying, yeah, basically this dude wanted to make that whole rally thing all about him. Oh, actually, let's read more, because I didn't read this. So basically, DJT has officially canceled Freedom 250 concert series, a planned multi-day celebration of the U.S. 250th anniversary on the National Mall. After a slew of artists withdrew, the concert will be replaced by a political rally headlined by Trump himself. Freedom 250 cancellation and rally. The freedom. Hold on.
Intentionally suppressed reality forms the bedrock of what we now recognize as untold black history.
All right, here. So the freedom, oh my God, the Freedom 250 festival was slated to host a variety of acts from June 25th to July 10th. However, following the announcement of the lineup, performers such as Bret Michaels, Martina McBride, the Commodores, Young MC, and Morris Day pulled out. Artists stated, Slocky, not slated, that they were initially told the event would be non-partisan, but subsequently learned of its ties to the White House and DJT's political apparatus. So basically, let's continue on. In response, DJT urged the cancellation of the concerts and subsequently announced that he would replace the failed music series with the greatest rally ever, in all caps apparently. On the National Mall, the rally will feature performances by country singer Lee Greenwood and opera singer Christopher Macchio. Yeah, so basically, they were told one thing, but it was a lie just to get them to come so that he could make it apparently all about him. Let me see what more. Let's actually watch some of this.
Raymond's might be the best kept secret right now, and I'm shocked because I always felt like it wasn't for me, but now they have an outfit for...
I hate this shit.
A major concert series planned to celebrate America's 250th birthday in Washington, D.C. is in danger of unraveling months before its kickoff. Martina McBride, Bret Michaels, and the Commodores are among the performers who have said they will not perform in the, quote, Great American State Fair this July, with some claiming they were misled about the nature of the event, which is being organized by a Trump-linked organization that's separate from the group set up by Congress to plan events for the country's 250th anniversary. Joining us now to break it all down is ABC contributor Mike Muse. Mike, great to see you this evening. Thanks so much for coming in.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday to you, my friend. This concert series was announced earlier this week. Less than 48 hours. These performers are backing out. Is that what people expected? What happened here?
It is surprising in the way in which so many artists have backed out. But Stephanie, what we're noticing is that artists now care about where their music is played and where they show up and perform. If you think about during the campaign season, many artists did not want certain candidates to use their music, and they asked the campaigns to strike their music from their rallies as they did not want to be associated with it. The White House is very social media friendly, let's say, and they oftentimes get into the pop culture zeitgeist and would use popular music and popular artists to convey a message, may say on True Social or on X. And then you will see artists come out and ask them to strike it down if they don't want to be associated in the political space.
It's interesting that they would accept the invitation to begin with, knowing that it is a political backed event. I want to put up a statement that was shared from Poison frontman Bret Michaels. He said, quote, when this opportunity was originally presented to my team, it was described as a celebration of our country through music and a chance to honor our veterans. He goes on to say that it evolved into something much more divisive than what he agreed to be a part of. How common is this sort of miscommunication in the business? Is that what took place here?
So let's talk about the miscommunication, how requests usually get passed down to an artist, and then let's talk about the political confusion that exists. So typically when any entity, whether it's a music festival or whether it's a celebration of America turning 250, the promoter or the event organizer would typically reach out to the agency of record of note for the artist and then make a request for the booking. So then it goes from the music agent, then it goes to the agent representative itself, then it can get passed down to the manager, and then the manager then will bring that request to the artist.
So a lot of people involved here.
So there's a lot of hands that have transitioned in ways at which can be communicated. So it's easy. Remember, Stephanie, back in the day, we played a telephone game, right? And you would pass one message down. By the time you get to the fifth student in class, the message is completely different. And so that is how it works in terms of booking musical guests. I could actually see the confusion because the White House-led event is Freedom 250, and the congressional-led event is America 250. And so similar in sound, similar in tone. And so by the time that message gets conveyed to an artist, they're thinking America 250, Congress, all coming together. Congress has a more of a bipartisan feel, right, when it comes to it, versus when things are White House led, it's more about the party that's in position. So it's easy for that thing to get misconstrued and for a misunderstanding.
We also have a statement from Freedom 250 that we'll put up here. They're essentially pushing back on the suggestion that their event is political. But what does this all mean for the festival this summer?
It could mean two different things. The artists that are remaining as of today, as we're having this conversation, is Vanilla Ice and Flo Rida. They have not backed out. So it doesn't mean they're affirmed continuing, but they have not backed out. I'll be curious to see who gets added. right? And so the top of my mind is, will Kid Rock come and save the day for the Freedom 250 Festival, right? Who has in the past came to support President Trump? Thinking about their inauguration, would those individuals show up and support and add to the festival? So there could be a position where things can be additive, and we'll see if Flo Rida or Vanilla Ice continue their participation.
Some strong candidates there.
Yeah.
Mike, thank you very much.
All right, so apparently, I guess it was either a miscommunication, which I kind of don't buy that. I'm not gonna lie, but whatever. I guess ultimately it doesn't really matter. Again, as I said before, I personally don't think that it was a miscommunication. I feel like that kind of is just like how to save face and stuff like that, because normally when it comes to things or agreement, you would expect that these are very clear terms, everything should be very clear. How is it that these people that normally do stuff like this have things so clear when it comes to literally anything else, but then when it comes to the government and the government's team and stuff like that, in terms of planning, they can't convey something clearly? They can't do that telephone, get some clear and concise documents or whatever that says this is what we expect, this is what we want, this is what you need to do and stuff like that. But instead now there's confusion. Now there's I couldn't understand this, that, and the third, or whatever, which that is absolutely insane. That's genuinely insane for people to be saying that there was miscommunication and stuff like that. Again, in some quote unquote game of telephone. All right. So again, it's just back to the same thing. And you know what is funny? I was just watching this video, and this ties in perfectly with what happened here. Let me see if the video play. Yeah, let's.
You do realize that, right? If you don't know now, you're gonna find out. I'm playing.
And yes, I'm gonna leave it on 2x speed.
White girl Kylie Brewer is literally a godsend because...
Hi, I'm Kylie. Here are the top 3 things that white supremacists have confessed to me in my DMs. I have no idea why, but conservatives have started flocking to my DMs in hordes, confessing all of their insecurities to me. So here are the top 3. Number 1, nearly all of them have expressed anger and frustration that white women have stopped liking white men as much. According to them, there is no longer a preference that white women have for white men because of integration, and they're deeply upset by this fact because they believe that advantage is the only way that they were able to get women. Number 2, most of them have confessed to me that they have a micro, and they have stated that this is one of the reasons that they are so insecure and mean to people. Specifically, why they hate black men so much because of their perceived larger size. And confession number 3, most of them have said they have an inability to satisfy women, which leads to heightened feelings of insecurity and jealousy when seeing their wives or girlfriends with other men. And also, it's the reason why a lot of them have fetishes for being a cup. My DMs are not open to these types of messages. Do not send me these types of messages. And just know that if you do, I will be making
this white girl...
Yes.
So yeah, that was basically what was going on, where apparently some white girl is getting freaking messages from a bunch of random guys. Like, number one, why the fuck are you making this bitch play therapist or some shit where you're just exposing all your fucking insecurities to some random chick online? And you know what, I guess, you know what, let me stop, because I would expect that from Esau, given that what she just said. She literally just said that they have fetishes for being cucks and stuff like that. So of course, like, that's where they get off to that humiliation and embarrassment that she's doing. Like, her saying, "Do not send me this because I'm going to humiliate you." Like, that's like, that is her. She's inadvertently inviting more of these weirdos to go and do that exact same shit for them to do. Like, she's inviting more by saying that. All right, like, that's how messed up these dudes are. Like, what the hell are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Anyway, let's go. Can you continue on? Where was I at? All right, so Obadiah chapter 1, verse 1. The vision of Obadiah, thus saith the Lord Yahawah, concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. The pride of thy heart hath deceived thee. Thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? And who is that person that dwells in the clefts of the rock? Who is that person who says, oh, who's gonna bring me down to the ground? Who's stronger? Who's tougher than me? Who can handle me? I'm the big dog on campus and all that shit. Who is the one that thinks that they are the superpower of the world? All right, the strongest nation, the best nation. Verse 4: Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord. Who is that person that uses that what's it called? Eagle. Who has the eagle as their national bird? Who has what's it called? Stars on their flag, and who fits all these collective descriptions all at once? All right. I intentionally said fits all the descriptions because I know multiple. I'm pretty sure multiple. I actually don't know how many flags, American country flags have stars on them. I'm pretty sure more than one, but aside from that, who fits all these descriptions? All right. Anyway, this is Esau Edom. If you didn't understand, which Esau Edom is Babylon, and once again goes back into DJT, where DJT is, I'm not gonna lie, appropriately epitomizing the pride that's in his heart. All right, the pride that he has for thinking that he is the number one thing since sliced bread or whatever. All right. Anyway, with that being said, let's continue on. Proverbs 16 verse 18: Pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. And I'm thinking this is actually the topic of this lesson, where this is all about pride, but it's not just any pride. This is pride for Esau Edom. Yes, you have pride in other people. All right, other people thinking that they are, everything or whatever, but more specifically, you have pride in Esau Edom. Esau has pride in himself, where he can do no wrong. He thinks that he is just absolute or perfect or the best thing ever. All right, and the Lord's going to bring him down. Let's actually get this.
The retaliation that followed was designed by the plunderer.
Is it 28?
To systematically break the very spirit of the African.
Yeah, Ezekiel chapter 28, verse 2. Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am a power, I sit in the seat of Yahweh, and in the midst of the seas, yet thou art a man, and not Yahweh, though thou set thy heart as the heart of Yahweh. And there's more that says it, but I'm just going to get to the point. You can read it yourself if you like. Verse 6, therefore thus saith the Lord Yahweh, because thou hast set thy heart as the heart of Yahweh, behold, therefore I will bring strangers upon thee, the terrible of the nations, and they shall draw their swords against the beauty of thy wisdom, and they shall defile thy brightness. Okay, so basically, YAHAWASHI is going to use men. All right, he's going to send men after these people that after the king that thinks that he's YAHAWASHI or whatever and stuff like that, thinking that he's God, to humble them down. All right, and that's basically that's normally how the Lord works, where the Lord proves people wrong. All right, but obviously we have biblical prophecy when it comes to YAHAWASHI. The Lord's gonna deliver His elect a certain way. All right. Proverbs chapter 11 verse 2: When pride cometh, then cometh shame, but with the lowly is wisdom. Okay, when pride cometh, then cometh shame. And I'm not gonna lie, it is so sincerely funny how the Lord is showing how this dude was so proud to do all this stuff and to make all this thing, but again, he was shamed because like these people, they're not messing with him. They're not messing with, and you know, it's so funny to me how you have all these political stances now more so than ever. More people are willing. I don't think I've ever seen this much rebellion against, you know, the government and stuff like that, or people taking stances, except for when I see DJT make or say something. It's like he's using the White House as some sort of I don't know, some event to glaze himself. Like that's what this is about. That's what this is all about, right? Proverbs 29 verse 23, a man's pride shall bring him low, but honor shall uphold the humble in spirit. What's going on right here? Esau, and as we read in Ezekiel 28, all right, the pride of these men, that think that they're the best thing ever, that's what's bringing them low. That's what's bringing them to, you know, realize that, oh no, people don't love me. Oh no, people do not mess with me. People do not associate themselves with me. Like I'm over here thinking that I'm number one or I'm the best thing ever, but no. And the crazy thing is, he's still so delusional that he thinks that people care. But I mean, obviously, yeah, some people care. His corner, his increasingly or decreasingly small corner, all right, but outside of that, nothing else, all right. Now Romans chapter 12 verse 3, and just use this as a cautionary tale. Romans chapter 12 verse 3, for I say, through the grace given unto me, to every man that is among you, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think, but to think soberly, according as Yahweh hath dealt to every man the measure of faith. So yeah, this is just a cautionary tale. You see it in how DJT has been treated, where he thinks that he's the best thing ever. No, like humble down. Don't be doing that. Let another. As a matter of fact, let me see. Hold on, cause let me see if
when you go belongs to the very kings, queens, and warriors who dared to challenge a massive empire. The silence of 161 years has been shattered.
Well, it was a parable. Hold on. No, that's not what I want. That's definitely not what I want. Don't take
but as this newly awakened pride sweeps through our global family, a final monumental question begins to rise from the soil, a question that will demand a definitive choice from every single one of us as the sun begins to rise on the ultimate destiny of Africa's children. The severed heads along the
all right, bear with me one moment.
Were meant to be an eternal full stop. The wealthy plantation masters firmly believed that by destroying the fragile flesh, they could permanently incinerate the immortal dream of liberty. For over 161 years, a thick, suffocating shroud of forced silence covered the American South. Today, we feel the deep simmering outrage of a sacred history stolen, a narrative systematically whitewashed to keep a global community from remembering its own immense capacity for revolution. We feel the profound aching regret for those 45 brave souls who stood on the very precipice of a free black republic, only to be cut down by the cold, unyielding machinery of imperial greed. Their names were stripped away, their bodies desecrated.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Hidden beneath the toxic generational illusions of the Jim Crow era. But a seed buried deep within the dark crimson earth does not perish. It waits.
And you know what's funny? I was just watching a brother do a lesson. It was on Bill C9 or something, where they were about ready to ban the Bible. And I'm imagining that that's what's going on right there. Anyway, let's read this. Luke 14 verse 8. When thou art bidden to any man, to a wedding, sit not down in the highest room, lest a more honorable man than thou be bidden to him, and he that bade thee and him come and say unto thee, give this man place, and thou begin with shame to take the lowest room. All right, basically, if you are going to any type of gathering or something like that, or whatever, what you shouldn't do, you shouldn't just say, oh, let me go take the highest seat, let me go take the nicest things and stuff like that. No, you shouldn't be doing that. You should be taking the lowest thing, because when someone that's more honorable comes, or if you were that more honorable person, then someone's gonna say, hey man, like, you need to come over here, take this stuff, okay? Because you don't want to be shamed and saying, hey, you're taking the seat that was the nicest seat, the top seat that was reserved for this great person and whatnot. Can you get up? Can you get off there? And people would say, like, well, why did this person take it? Like, there's that shame and that embarrassment, the humiliation of you, you know, thinking that you were hot shit and whatnot. Verse 10, but when thou art bidden, go and sit down in the lowest room, that when he that bade thee cometh, he may say unto thee, friend, go up higher, then shalt thou have worship in the presence of them that sit at meat with them. For whosoever exalted himself shall be abased, and he that humbleth himself shall be exalted. So that's basically what was going on here, where, you know, if you trying to exalt yourself, you're going to be humbled down. And that's what's going on with DJT and Esau in general, where on the flip side of that, Obama, he wasn't all about that exaltation. He was just apparently, I'm assuming, just doing his job, although maybe there are some questionable things I've heard about Obama doing some stuff behind closed doors, and, you know, I don't know the full story, but that's just what I've heard. All right, but anyway, yeah, that's basically the main thing. I pray this lesson was edifying. I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto YAHAWAH, SHAMAIWAN, that will honor the elders and apostles, the great millstone of Bible, and Shalom.